Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Okay, Campione. We're moving this truck along with the reviews. Um, After this one, later on tonight, I will probably do... I'm trying to think. See how many more I need to do. After this one will probably be later on. It's really just Fairy Tail, Bimbo Gamiga, Sword Art Online. That's a special one. And One Piece. That's 4. We'll see if I can do all of them. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3. So yeah, maybe I'll save One Piece for tomorrow. All right, Campione, episode 10. God Killer. If we've seen last week's episode, we know that Perseus, God Perseus, has challenged Kusanagi again for a fight. Now, this is actually, the episode starts with him fighting him already. But what ends on happening is, he fights him, then we go into a flashback. So, and we got Liliana. She's there with her maid and everything, and yeah, with her maid, and you know, they're talking and stuff and saying how you're supposed to do this because the whole kissing thing. Because the only way she can give him the information he needs about Perseus is if they kiss. And her maid is like looking at her saying, "Oh, you're gonna teach him all this," and it's just a pile of books. It's like, come on, man. It's not gonna happen that way. You gotta kiss him. So what ends on happening is he goes to the bathroom, but secretly he doesn't go to the bathroom. He leaves because he doesn't want to get her involved and stuff like that. And he eventually goes to this place, this bus station, and she's like right there. You know, saying, and he was basically saying that, you know, I'm the only person, he's telling her, oh, I'm the only person that can do this, so on and so forth. And she's like proclaiming that, oh, I'm your knight, and I want to help you out, and so on and so forth. And that's when they get, Perseus shows up. He shows up, and telling him, oh, we're going to go, and we're going to fight now. Saying, you know, we're going to go and fight this arena. It's like, and you know what's weird about Perseus? He can mind control people. Like, he can fuck with your mind. Because he, like, controlled all these people to stay there. And so on and so forth. Now, the thing about this episode that got me was Salvatore, don't he? He's like, he's doing everything he could possibly can to make things interesting. And I'm like, huh? The ending, by the way, the ending of this episode, fucking hilarious. Hilarious. So basically, he's finding, you know, Perseus. And, you know, he's bringing out the boar and everything. But like we've been told, he can't use his powers. He can't use his, I believe what they call it, his domain, you know, his, you know, thing. His powers get negated by Perseus. And the story we find out is that the reason why this is true is because the powers that originate that he has, Kusanagi, majority of them are from the god Verskananath? Sorry if I'm butchering that name. And he's negating them because originally Perseus was Narraganseth's master. So that was the whole gist on that. So he got hit with an arrow, and it hit his arm. And, you know, she's going there, Liliana. I don't know why she didn't do this before. Kiss him. Like, this whole thing about kissing him in order to give him information, I find it ridiculous. Just beyond ridiculous. I'm like, this is unbelievable. So what ends on happening is she kisses him eventually, and she doesn't give him the information right off the bat. What I find hilarious about this episode, they kiss like 3 times. Because she kisses him, then he kisses her, and he's like, you know, they're sucking face, and then she's giving him the information, and then he comes out guns blazing. And what he does is he, you know, brings out the different things. He brings out the sword, and he attacks him with the sword, and, you know, his whole bit. He actually does this one thing. He tells of Percy's history. He's the sun god. That's the whole. He's the hero of, you know, he takes over of the sun god, and that's the whole bit about it. And he says, "Oh, my light is brighter than your light," you know, that whole bullshit. Now, and Kusanagi gets out of that area because he created his domain. He gets out of it, and he starts fighting Perseus again. But this time around, Percy's, because what happened was he used his sword to break Percy's bow. I was like, that was awesome. His sword was freaking huge. It was like, you know, like sword held by a giant. So what ends on happening is, after he did that, he then brings out another sword. Because he broke his bow. Perseus brings out a sword and starts fighting with it. And eventually what happens is, he's giving the upper hand. And he actually stabs him in the shoulder area, Kusanagi. And Kusanagi comes back. Percy steps him right here with the camel kick, the spirit of the camel, and kicks him in the freaking building. I'm like, holy shit! And that he still comes back. This is like against Vauban. That's what this fight is like. This is just like how he fought against Vauban. It wasn't like an easy victory. He kept coming back and back and back and back. Eventually, what happens is Percy takes over Liliana, and she starts attacking Kusanagi, and I'm like, holy shit, this is insane. And she just gives him nips and cuts here and there, and then she finally breaks out of it, and he dodges a few bows, and the other bow hits Percy, so she's out of it, and she's able to hit him with a few bows, and what spells defeat for Perseus. And basically, he was saying how he was able to control maidens, priestesses. A priestess. He was able to control them. And that was the whole bit on that. And eventually, what was able to get him the victory, Kusanagi, is because of Liliana, he was able to beat Perseus. Because what happens is, she uses the bows again, but of her own volition, to help Kusanagi. And she attacks. She misses him a couple of times, but eventually the bow comes back when she hits him, when she throws the bows of those arrows out, and is able to hit him here. And then Kusanagi just kicks that bow right in there and calls forth the boar and throws it at him. Boom, motherfucker! That was it. That was all she wrote for Perseus. And then after that happened, we have the thing with, you know, Liliana and Kusanagi. And she's hesitant to kiss him. And I'm like, give me a break, man. It's just, Kusanagi's a player. What can I say? And eventually what happens is, Athena shows up. She kisses Kusanagi. I'm like, wow. So let's see. 3, 4, 7 girls? Might as well say it that way. You can't count Athena in there. She kisses him and heals his wounds, and she says that next time we will meet again. Telling him that. And then freaking Liliana's crying. She's like, no, you won't. Because she wants to. She's up all on in that. She's all up on in that. So, after that happened, we have that ending. We have an extra scene. It seemed like Athena killed Perseus. Because what happens is, is after Percy's he's tired, you know, from that battle, and he's still alive. And then he looks behind him, and he sees this dark shadow. We don't know who it actually is, but it looks like Athena. She turns it into a snake, cuts off Percy's hand, and eats him. That was pretty scary. That's pretty crazy shit. And then Salvatore comes back. He comes there, and he says, "Oh, I guess I missed him." And he says, "Oh, things are gonna get interesting." And then we go back to the mansion that he was at, the headquarters of the Black Copper Cross with Liliana. She's feeding him and everything. And then guess who walks in? Erica and Maria. Hell hath no fury in the wrath of a woman's scorn. Well, there she had her sword out and she was going at him. Because, you know, it was you who did it. And the funniest thing was Maria. Her face was like priceless. Like, oh, now it's time to punish you for what you did. So, and then, it was so funny. It's like, lesson well learned. Guys, don't create a harem. It's not the smartest thing to do. Especially if you're creating a harem of girls who wield swords. Not a good idea. Because then they'll... Ooh, I'll ruin your weekend. By the way, this was a good episode. I'm going to give this a 3.5. This show it has its downfalls because of the fact that it's only 12 episodes and people are saying that the manga, the light novel, is so much better. But I still like it. I still love the hilariousness of the harem. And I still love this whole action sequences that have been going on in this show. So this is definitely a good show. Check it out. I mean, I like this episode. It was, you know, him beating Percy was a big villain. And, you know, the connection he now has with Liliana. So that was the whole bit on this one. And he was with Liliana for a good, 1 or 2, 3 episodes? So this was interesting. Next week, it seems like it's going to be another girl showing up. The Princess of the Longsword. It's his other girl that shows up. So he's got now 4, 5 girls. Because I'm counting Athena. I'm counting her in there. She's a goddess. But just, come on, man. You can't. She's amazing. It's just, you know. But, yeah. That's the story there. Like I said before, I will do the other reviews later on. 30 minutes until Toonami. So I gotta watch that shit. But yeah, this was a good episode of Campione. I liked it. It was not as good as XL World, but just as good. So, this has been Bonkai922. Check out Campione. It's a really good show. Check out Godkiller. It's a really, really good show. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to review it, but I will before I leave with this video, and I don't want to get off too much topic here because I was going on Campione and I want to bring up something real quick. Everyone should check out Shangri-La. Shangri-La. Go check it out. It's a really good show. Okay? It's been Bonkai922. Harems. Choose your harems carefully, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you got a harem, guys, and the girls wield swords, not a good idea. Okay? See you guys later.